Title: Engine Crisis, the full story of the Boeing. 37 Disaster. Chapter 1. A normal day turns tragic. The sun had just risen over Denver International Airport as Pacific Sky Airlines Flight 237 prepared for departure. The Boeing 737-800, registration number N534PS, was a workhorse of the fleet, having logged over 25,000 flight hours without major incidents. On board were 132 passengers, including families heading on vacation, business travelers, and a few nervous first-time flyers. The crew consisted of Captain Daniel Reeves, a seasoned pilot with a reputation for calm under pressure, and First Officer Lisa Carter, a former Air Force aviator with sharp technical skills. At 7:15 a.m., the aircraft taxied to runway 34R. The weather was perfect. Clear skies, light winds, and unlimited visibility. The pre-flight checks had been routine, with no anomalies reported. As the engines spooled up for takeoff, the passengers settled into their seats, unaware that in less than an hour, their lives would change forever. Chapter 2. The First Sign of Trouble. Flight 237 climbed smoothly to its cruising altitude of 36,000 feet. The autopilot engaged, and the cabin crew began beverage service. Then, at precisely 8:03 a.m., a thunderous explosion shattered the calm. The right engine, at CFM International Leap 1B, had suffered an uncontained failure. A fractured fan blade tore through the engine casing, sending shrapnel ripping into the wing. Fuel lines were severed, and hydraulic fluid sprayed into the air. The cockpit erupted with warning lights. Engine failure, hydraulic pressure loss, fuel imbalance. Captain Reeves immediately took manual control, his hands gripping the yoke as the plane yawed violently to the right. "Declare an emergency," he ordered First Officer Carter, who quickly radioed air traffic control. "Denver Center, Pacific 237. We've lost the right engine. Request immediate diversion." Chapter 3. A desperate battle for control. The aircraft was now flying on a single engine, but the damage was worse than the pilots realized. The shredded wing had disrupted airflow, making the plane difficult to stabilize. The flight control system flickered. Some surfaces were unresponsive. Passengers screamed as the plane lurched downward. Oxygen masks dropped from the ceiling. Flight attendants rushed to secure the cabin, shouting instructions over the chaos. "We're not going to make it to the nearest airport," First Officer Carter said, scanning the emergency landing options. Captain Reeves made the call. "Prepare for a forced landing. Brace positions, now." Chapter 4. The Crash. With no runway in reach, the pilots aimed for an open field near Bakersfield, California. The landing gear was lowered, but the damaged right wing struck the ground first. The plane cartwheeled, breaking apart as it skidded across the dirt. Fire erupted from ruptured fuel tanks. Emergency responders arrived within minutes, but the scene was horrific. The forward section of the fuselage had been crushed, trapping the cockpit crew. Survivors stumbled from the wreckage, many with severe burns and broken bones. When the final count was taken, 44 people had died, including Captain Reeves and First Officer Carter, who had remained at the controls until the end. Chapter 5. The investigation begins. The National Transportation Safety Board, NTSB, launched an immediate investigation. The black box recordings revealed the pilot's heroic efforts. But the real story lay in the wreckage of the engine. Metallurgists found that a critical fan blade had fractured due to a microscopic fatigue crack, a defect that should have been caught during maintenance. Further digging uncovered disturbing truths. The engine manufacturer had rushed production to meet Boeing's demand. Inspection protocols had been relaxed to cut costs. Similar near misses had occurred in other 737s, but reports were buried. Chapter 6. The Fallout and Reforms. The FAA grounded hundreds of Boeing 737s worldwide. Airlines faced billions in losses. Families of the victims sued, accusing Boeing and the engine maker of negligence. In the aftermath, new regulations were imposed. Stricter engine inspection standards. Mandatory redesigns of critical components. Whistleblower protections for aviation employees.